Would you consider calling something rare when you didn't actually look for it in the first place? Endometriosis has been documented in cisgender men for nearly a century. This is not new. This is not internet misinformation. This isn't rage bait. It's published medical literature that was never meaningfully expanded on, pursued, or broadly investigated. Yet the conversations around endometriosis in men still get shut down before it even starts. It's rare. It's usually mild for the men. It's because of the added hormones, usually. Why are we even talking about this? More women suffer from it, anyways. I mean, we really can't confidently speak on commonality when entire populations were historically excluded from investigation in the first place. And that does include the women still being misdiagnosed and literally labeled hysteric in the 21st century. Cases of men have been documented in the United States, in Japan, in Iceland, and beyond. Some did involve estrogen therapies. Others actually occurred completely spontaneously with no hormone interventions at all. And they do have symptoms: severe pelvic pain, masses mistaken for cancer, bowel complications, urinary complications, repeated surgeries, oftentimes hernia repairs, extensive disease. These are not always mild. And documented literature is actually only part of the conversation. If clinicians were not trained to recognize the possibility outside of the traditional narrative, cases will never be biopsied, diagnosed, published, or counted. This lack of documentation does not equal a lack of existence or even a lack of ability to even have a conversation about them and include them in the conversation. This same pattern has happened for decades with women in endometriosis and, of course, women's health care. Children are also dismissed. Postmenopausal individuals, trans and intersex individuals, constantly dismissed. And it's been found in animals. People were told that this disease was rare, unlikely, hormonal, or impossible, simply because medicine has not looked broadly enough. I mean, yeah, women absolutely experience the greatest burden of this disease. Nobody is arguing that fact. Menstruation is an inflammatory biological process, and it can trigger symptom flares, pain cycles, immune activations, and disease progression. Biology truly does matter, but that doesn't mean evidence outside of that framework should be ignored. Two things at once can be true. Women are absolutely disproportionately affected, and the disease may still exist outside the boundaries medicine originally created for it. Reproductive frameworks is what we are stuck in. The patriarchy harms women first, hardest in many areas of medicine, especially reproductive care. But these systems built around rigid biological assumptions eventually harm everybody. The patriarchy harms everybody. Women are dismissed as hysterical. Children are told they are too young or just becoming a woman. Postmenopausal patients are told that they are too old, and then the men are told that their symptoms are impossible. Anyone whose body does not fit the expected narrative that has existed for over 100 years. This is not about centering anybody over women. I am a woman, and I am proud to be a woman, but I'm also proud to be a woman to be able to use my voice and stand up and acknowledge everybody. This is about challenging the assumptions that kept this disease misunderstood for generations, because ignoring this evidence does not really protect the women in the long run. It protects an outdated system, and we are still literally living in the history of uncovering the full scope of this disease.